I have what I think is going to be a really fun session today. Um, we're going to be a lot more, we're going to play with two primary GPT tools. We're really going to focus on offers and, accelerating your offers and dialing in your marketing campaigns. Um, but actually, let me go ahead and share this real quick. I don't have a lot of slides today because we're going to be doing a lot more actual live playtime. But before we get going here, this is a reminder. We're on week 3. We spent the first week on the AI foundations and really trying to get you guys um, understanding how to prompt at an expert level, understand what AI can do, what it can't do, getting your mindset wrapped around the right frameworks. My ultimate goal is to make you insanely resourceful, even if you had that. In fact, I created that in order to create like a standalone product just from session 1. I wanted it to be so good, and several of you have privately commented that that was really helpful. Last week we went into marketing strategy and just really understanding how to shape your strategy of what you're doing. Today we're going to go into offering campaign design, and then next week we're going to go into the actual marketing assets. Like, all right, we got the right strategy, we've got the right campaign plans, we know what to do. Now let's just put it to work because money loves speed, and the quicker we can get stuff out, the better. We got some cool stuff I want to show you. As I said, we're going to do offers and marketing campaigns. I think most people know what an offer is. Offer is, in essence, a lot of people think it's what you sell for a client or to a customer or a client, but it's not really. You think of an offer as what transformation do you provide? What is the outcome you provide? I like to use the example that, Led Zeppelin was wrong. She's not buying a Stairway to Heaven. She's buying heaven. So, um, you know, God's offer is heaven. It's not the stairway. It's not the way to get there, right? It's like if you're in hell and you want to get out of hell, you don't care. I mean, you might care. You want to, you want a rope ladder, you want an escalator, you want an elevator, you want to beam me up, Scotty. Most people want the fastest, quickest, easiest result out of their current situation. And it could be a minor situation, it could be a major situation, right? But so Sue, for instance, your offer is not pet Reiki. Your offer is you're a healthy pet, without all these medical interventions and veterinary bills, et cetera, right? How you get them to the place they want to be is your product or your service, but your offer is how you solve their problem. And this is drilled into us in marketing, et cetera. And it's one of those things that it sounds foundational, but it is so, I mean, it sounds basic, but it is so foundational to understand. Don't get in love with your product or your service, get in love with the transformation it provides. And that transformation, like what is McDonald's transformation they provide? What is their offer? Well, their offer is fast, convenient, consistent food, right? Those are the 3 things. It's going to be fast, it's going to be convenient, and it's going to be consistent. You go to one McDonald's or another McDonald's. It's not delicious burgers. It's not this. They're not selling burgers. They're selling fast, convenient, consistent food that some people like, right? So if you're a relationship coach, your offer is helping somebody, get the love back in their relationship, right? Without, going to marriage counseling, etc. The way you sell that, it could be an intro product, it could be a coaching product, it could be a mastermind, it could be anything. So once you know what your offer is, now we have to know how we're going to market it. And, you know, we talked a little bit about this last week, which some people just go, all right, what do I have to do to market it? Oh, I got to do social media posts, or I got to do blogs, or I got to do videos. And they don't come at this with a systematic approach to it. And then they find themselves running around like a chicken with their heads cut off, spinning a bunch of plates. And I know this because that used to be me. And Lauren can attest to a large degree that sometimes is me, and she has to, rein me in. And if you're like a lot of like ADD visionary entrepreneurs, you got a lot of ideas that are outrunning your ability to execute them, and you kind of want to do a little bit of everything. A marketing campaign is a great filter guardrails. It helps you go, all right, let's get it focused. Let's make it time bound. Let's move a specific audience to one specific action, and let's make it measurable, and let's prioritize what to do when. Because we can have all the ideas in the world, but if we don't have a game plan to get them done, then it's a moot point. And that's what we're going to focus on today is the offers and then the marketing campaign, because that's going to feed into next week where we actually start to go learn how to produce this stuff and produce it quickly. And then the culmination of everything you're learning over this 4 weeks, plus the 2 weeks of, after this next week, we're going to go 2 more weeks of, Q&A and hot seats, etc. Where I'm purposely not going to be teaching you a bunch of new stuff. I'm going to be helping you get this stuff into action. But once you're good at this, everything you're learning, you should be able to knock out everything in one day, everything you've learned in these 4 weeks, like one day sitting here with the right prompts and tools. You guys like that? Is that a desirable output? Great. So one of the things we're going to try to create today is a marketing campaign brief. Now, there's a lot of things that can go in here, but the basic thing is the blueprint that gives who's your target audience, what are their pain points, what's the offer, what angles are you going to go after them, what channels are you going to use? Are you going to use multi-channel like Facebook, Meta, Google, online, offline, whatever, or are you just going to do Facebook ads, for instance? What's your objective? How are you going to measure those objectives? What assets do we need for this campaign? What's our timeline and maybe what's our budget for this? And the budget could be to produce the assets needed or to just buy ads if you're deciding to buy ads. And so this campaign brief, I used to be partners in a marketing agency that, we did a lot of, major clients where we build their entire marketing strategies and campaigns and do them. And these campaign briefs were the first thing. They got disseminated out amongst the team. So the copywriter gets the campaign brief, the media buyer gets the campaign brief, the social media person gets the campaign brief, because it tells you everything that has to happen. The nice part about this is that the marketing agency can become now your AI tool, and you can get, once more, most of this stuff done without hiring an expensive agency. This is one of the reasons I'm no longer in the agency business. But I have a big question, and I want answers. If you and I both, and you can put this in chat or you can unmute yourself, if you and I both had a hamburger stand and we were competing and we wanted to see who could sell the most burgers, and I said, you can pick any advantage you want over me, what advantage would you ask for? Let's unmute and tell me.
Speed.
Okay, speed of burgers, good. Who else? What else you got?
Quality.
Quality burgers, cool. What else?
Crowds.
Healthy.
Location.
Location, great. All right. I'll give each one of you that, and I'll give it to you in spades. And I will beat every one of you if I get my one advantage. I want a starving crowd. I want a crowd coming out of a cannabis dispensary. Actually, I've seen the most brilliant thing ever. I've seen Girl Scouts set up outside of cannabis dispensaries, which is hilarious because like stoners have munchies, right? It's far easier and more profitable to provide a solution to somebody who's actively seeking it, because not just because they want it, because they need it. They are starving, right? If you find a person in the desert and they haven't had a drink of water in a week, they will do anything for one glass of water. Right? I think you guys get this. So in the stages of awareness, and we talked about this, I think in last week, the stages of awareness, they're problem unaware, they're problem aware, they're solution aware, right? So if you can find people who are problem aware, and the more aware they are of the problem, and we're going to dive deep into this today, I think you're going to love this. The more aware they are of the problem they have, and the more aware they are that there is a solution, they just either don't know what it is or don't know how to get it. Those are the ones that are going to be the easiest people to sell because they have an urgent problem. There's another marketing term for this that I decided I was going to use this, and I decided because of current geopolitical events, I decided not to use it, but it's called the bleeding neck problem. If anybody understands why I decided not to use that, because of the person who was recently assassinated with a bleeding neck, I thought it wouldn't be appropriate, but I thought I'd bring it up here because we're all friends. But that is a marketing term that if somebody has a bleeding neck, they will do anything to stop it right now. It is urgent, and the what do you call the impact of not solving it? The cost of inaction is bigger than the cost of action. So what we're going to do is we're going to find your starving market. You're going to find your starving crowd today. Even if you're starting from scratch and you don't know who you're going to go after, we can do both. So once more, urgent, visible pains that they want solved now, not someday. They're actively searching, they're ready to buy. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to use those and we're going to do what I call finding the first domino. And dominoes, everybody's played dominoes, you know, you set them one up, you knock it down, and all you have to do is like one little expenditure of energy to knock the first one down, knocks the rest of them down. And so what we want to do is we want to make this easy. We want to cause a chain reaction of sales. And the way to do that is to remember in business, the only reason businesses exist and are profitable is because you solve problems. But every time you solve a problem, you know, problem solution, you create another problem, or at least you should create another problem, even if it's a small problem, because that's another problem you can solve. The more problems you can solve for more people, the more money you make. And a lot of people will say, I've got a solution to your problem. Here, buy it. And then you're like, oh, great. Here, little example. Let's say I sell a weight loss program. I help you lose 50 pounds. Great. I just say, like, take my pill. You lost 50 pounds. Congratulations. What's your new problem? I mean, clothes don't fit. People act a little different. Maybe your skin is sagging. Maybe you've got other little issues you don't know. But so one of our goals as a marketer is to find out, well, after I solve this problem, what other problem did I create? And then is there a solution to that, which makes sense? Because if they go out and look for somebody else to solve that problem that our solution caused, then we lost money. So we're going to not only look for that starving market, we're going to look for how do we set up some dominoes so they continue to give us money because we're continuing to solve problems. Any questions about those two concepts? This is so overlooked, which is solve a problem. What's the next problem I can solve? By the way, you don't always have to solve it. Sometimes you can do a joint venture, an affiliate agreement, or something else with somebody who does that solve that problem. So for instance, let's say I have a weight loss pill and it works 100% of the time. And people lose, let's just say, you know, an average of 25% of their body weight, and now their clothes don't fit them. Maybe I do an affiliate agreement or partnership with a clothing company that, you know, sells brand new wardrobes at a discount, right? Like whatever. I don't have to provide it, but I'm always going to try to be thinking about what's the next problem I can solve. And so now, who wants to go use some custom GPTs and find these things? All right. This is going to be your assignment this week. You're going to play with these. I'm going to give you links for this, so do not worry. All right. Now, I am going to show, this is one that I built. Once more, custom GPTs. We all know what these are. Let's put this on 5. Cool. I am going to find a volunteer. I used Sue last week. I don't want to use Sue again. Who has got, all right, I'll take a volunteer for one of two things. Either you have an existing business that we want to find this for, or you are brand new, fresh, and you want to just say, hey, let's start from a blank slate and look for a starving market to enter. Does anybody have? All right, Philippe, let's go ahead, unmute.
All right, so I have an existing business, but I want to accelerate it, and the transformation I offer is.
Hey, one sec. Okay, let me ask those questions. So we're going to go through these one at a time. So notice it says, are we building from an existing business or starting from a blank slate? So you're just going to say existing business, right? Briefly describe the type of business you have, you know, and its name.
So it's called the Lion Tamer Sales Manager. And I sell transformation from top salesperson into successful sales manager, or lion into a lion tamer.
Okay.
So it's training, coaching.
Yep. You know, I can't help. I'm gonna just so I don't forget this. I don't dislike what you're saying here, but there's something about the tamer that I don't. Okay. I don't even know if this is a good idea or bad idea, but the marketer in me cannot stop. So if I have salespeople, I understand how you want to tame the lions, but in some way I want to unleash the lion in them. I almost want to turn them from the house cat into the lion, right? So there's something about, no, I don't want tame salespeople. I want stone cold killers who, hit their numbers all the time. Like I want lions going out there and hunting. I don't want to tame them. But so,
Yeah,
right.
I'm good with that. It's more a brand than anything.
Cool. I don't
But
dislike it. I don't dislike it. I do like the whole, we're going to turn you from a lion into a lion tamer.
you're right. I've been doing this for 15 years, and nobody's looking for lion taming training. So I have first to address real issues and all that. But just to give you the story behind it, I used to say I train sales manager, blah blah blah, and then people confuse it with management, leadership training, sales training, and then finally I came up with this, which said I like to say good salespeople are pretty independent.
Yep.
That's why they're in sales. They're rebellious and aggressive. I compare them to the behavior of lions. Oh yeah. I train the lion tamer. Okay.
Well, and I do. There is actually, the more I think about it, there is some like goodness behind that, because it's also like we didn't remove the lion. We just got the lion to do exactly.
Yeah. And you're right. It's not about domesticating the lions, and you're absolutely. It's more a brand than anything. But
Yep. Perfect. Okay, cool. All right. So who do you serve? Well, like the basic. Now, first of all, if you guys have already done the previous step, which is like the strategic brief, and you already have an ideal client profile, all you would have to do is drop it in here. You could just copy and paste it. Keep this in mind, right? But let's just, at a high level, who do you serve? Like, what's the ideal customer?
2 markets. The first one is sales individuals who aspire to become sales managers and know that the transition, there are hundreds of articles, could be deadly. So people who want to succeed and eventually get the recipe, because I sell a system, there's a process.
Oh, just keep it. Okay, that's fine. Keep going, like, for brevity. What's the
And
second?
the second market is 7-figure entrepreneurs who want to grow the business, and usually they're the alpha lion. They created the business, and they hire salespeople. They fire one, they hire two, they fire three, because if they don't transform, they're going to attract only puppy dogs and pussycats, and you cannot grow the business unless you become a lion tamer yourself.
Okay, perfect. It's going to ask a handful of more questions, not too many. How do you serve them today? Basically, what offers, products, services do you have right now?
So I have a Kajabi online course called Transforming Lions, hybrid, videos, books. I've got books, a whole methodology, plus a little bit of coaching, but the goal is to completely do it without me in the loop. And I've got some pretty good references, but I'm still struggling with the pricing.
Okay. Am I typing this right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. You have a core offer, you have some books, some coaching. What's your main back end, high ticket core product? The thing you ultimately want the right customers to ascend into.
High ticket core product.
And if you don't have it yet, let's just say I'm going to throw something out there, like a mastermind, or
Yeah.
it could be like a group coaching program or something.
Yeah,
Like,
so
it doesn't matter.
yeah, it's a platinum lion tamer club where I invite them for 2 days in Paris, and we work on their business.
One-on-one or in group?
So far, I just have done one-on-one.
Perfect. All right. So here's what we got: lion tamer, sales manager, salespeople, da da da. Now, which core market does this fall into? Now, this one I've had it say, I thought I edited this to figure this out, but obviously this is in the, if you're just starting off, everything basically like personal development of any time falls into one of these 3 categories. So we're going to put it into the business and money. It should have already known that. Cool. So now we're going to say, let's drill deeper. Let's uncover the most urgent pain. And this thing is designed to teach you while it serves you. So first of all, we're going to do a broad subcategory like career advancement, leadership development, etc. Pain versus gain. All offers have both, but we want to focus on solving problems, since pain is more, people pay more for painkillers than they do for vitamins. Is it a chronic pain or is it an acute pain? Is it long-term nagging or is it just a sharp crisis moment? If it's, is there a specific area, like if it's chronic, like can't manage people, losing sales talent, plateaued growth? And then the last level is we're going to go into what context or backdrop, like career stage or business situation, right? So let's start off with the broad category. What feels like the closest fit to this dream clients? A career advancement, like they're going from salesperson to manager. They already know they're advancing or trying to, or they're already managing people and stepping into authority, or they're getting the right salespeople and motivating them. That's like kind of the broad category, or they're trying to scale a company. Now you can do this over and over for each different one, but we're going to start with one because we want to drill down. So just pick one of these you want to look at. Like
Number two.
Two.
Because I find that my best clients, they're already,
Good.
they want help with sales management, but they're already stepping into VP of sales.
Perfect. And once more, I built this to teach you while it's doing it so that it's more verbose, but it'll say, like, now both matter, but the pain side of leadership development might look like this. I was a top performer, but I feel like a fraud as a manager. No one on my team feels like I do. I can't trust them. Sells like I do. I keep hiring the people who don't work out. It's draining time and money. I feel like I'm losing control of my team or business. Now, do you want me to focus on the pain problems first or gain-driven desires? Now, I'm just going to say, let's just say pain, because that's all it's asking me. Right? It hasn't given me anything else. You do not crap the bed on me, ChatGPT. There we go. Okay, let's go pain. But it does give you the option to do both, right? So keep that in mind. Now, is this a chronic pain or is it a acute pain? So for instance, I've never been able to get my team to perform without me jumping in versus, hey, I just promoted my best salesperson and now they're failing as a manager, or I just hired 3 reps. So some are urgent, some are, constant, but they need to be done. So in this case, do you want to drill more into acute pains or chronic pains? Technically, by the way, you guys could tell it to do a mix of both, but let's just keep it easy.
Acute.
Cool.
Because the chronic pain, to be frank, they don't have time for training.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, I like the way you're thinking about that. Now, all right, here are some common specific acute pain. Just promoted, suddenly failing as a new manager. Team not listening. They don't command authority. Star salesperson promoted. So these are all acute pains. Take a look at these and what do you want to zoom in on first?
Number one.
Okay. And once more as a side note for everybody, you can tell it to, 1, 2, and 3 are really, can we explore all 3 of those if you want to do that? But sometimes the more focused you get, the better results you get. There is no one right way to play with AI. Now, what context? This is the last question here, or the last pain. So this pain usually shows up in these moments. For example, day 1 after promotion, they realize, oh no, I don't actually know how to manage people. Or they're feeling awkward after their first team meeting, or their first month, their numbers dip because they can't sell like before. Like which of these, wait, do you want me to actually, hold on. For example, it says, okay, we don't have to choose. I'm getting ahead. These are the pressure points that make them desperate for help. Do you want me to now generate a list of 15 urgent, visceral problems in their own words? We're just going to say yes. All right. So now I feel like I was a top rep, but now my old team doesn't respect me as their boss. Guys, one of the reasons that I'm doing this in their own words is so important because as you're trying to solve problems, a lot of us will, when we're doing writing marketing copy, we'll phrase visceral problems. Would you like to improve your sales? Right? Like nobody wants to improve their sales, but if somebody feels like, do you want to, you were the top rep, but now your team doesn't respect you as their boss. Do you want to earn the respect as their boss, right? Like what are the words they're using? You're going to have a lot more success with this. So all you have to do here is on your own, like read through these and go, look, do these feel accurate or do you want me to add a few more or revise them? Now, in this case, we know that these are accurate, right? So I'm just going to say accurate.
Yeah.
Now what it should do, should put some rubber on the road. Lauren, DC Ashley, waiting. Can you let her in? Okay. So now what it's going to do is it's going to put these into a table. And we're going to look for, well, I'm just going to say yes. It shouldn't tell me what it's going to do. It should have just built it. All right. This is where it gets really fun.
Wow.
So here's how to read this. Over here is like a quick descriptor. No respect. The urgent problem in their own words. I was a top rep and now my old team doesn't respect me as their boss. Why is it urgent? Well, there's an authority gap, shows up instantly. What is their likely emotional temperature around this? Well, if you're not getting respect, it's pretty high. How much does it occupy their mind? Is it something on their to-do list frequently? Like, some of this is more appropriate than others. But yeah, no, I think about this daily, like my authority is gone. Now, what is the underlying cause of not getting respect? Their identity shift is not being managed.
Mhm.
What does that mean? Well, first of all, how hard is it to find how difficult is it to find the solution to that? Well, medium difficulty, right? Sometimes it's easy. It's like, oh, just push a button, right? What's the next domino to fall? If they like, in order to do this, what has to fall? Leadership presence. So now, in detail, how to command respect without being a tyrant. Interesting.
Hmm.
So, and then I call this a direct response, right? Like a direct response, I mean, I'm trying to get there to immediate action. So a potential solution could be from peer to leader, 5 authority moves that earn instant respect.
Hmm.
Right. I'm going to go through one more here just to show you. I feel like a fraud. My company thinks I'm leadership material, but I'm drowning. This is an identity crisis plus imposter syndrome, high emotional temperature. The real cause is, or the underlying cause is, shoot, where was it? I just lost it here. Weak authority. Lack of role models and process. How easy to find a solution? It says it's pretty easy. How? Confidence reset. Well, maybe you do imposter to influencer, manager's mindset reset. So fairly simple. So, but once more, the reason for this entire GPT is to help show you some offers that you could create. Like this could be an offer, like it could be a $10 ebook. It could be a self-published book. It could be a master class. It could be like a $100 class. It could be a $2,000 program. It could be anything, right? But the goal is but by the way, it could also be content marketing. It could be a blog post, a social media post. It could be a YouTube video. It could be content. So this is a workhorse GPT. However, I love looking for offers that we can put in front of people to identify buyers. Some of the people on this call came from my Future UAI Coach offer, which is a $10 offer. It's a micro offer. I like doing that because look, if you're not willing to spend $10 with me, you might not be ever willing to spend anything with me. So it identifies buyers and it solves a problem. So I wanted to just remind you that this is where you come up with some potential little offer ideas or content marketing ideas. You're like, oh, these are really good. But man, what do I do with this big old list? Well, first of all, how to read it. Like this kind of gives you like what you want to look for. Now, do you want to refine these further or do you want to move into the domino analysis? Let's go into dominoes.
This is very cool.
I'm glad you like it. I'm pretty proud of it. So domino theory, I already told you, we start with the first urgent problem, triggering a natural chain towards deeper needs. And we're looking for long-term customer value, which is the full revenue a customer generates over time through upgrades, memberships, back-end programs, et cetera, not just the first sale. So now what we're taking these quick descriptors, right? These come from up there. I'm not getting any respect. Well, what's the first domino? This is something that ideally they could achieve instantly or in the first 2 weeks, right? Immediate gratification. People love immediate gratification, especially with AI out there now. So quick fixes to earn authority. Okay. Well, what problem or what's the next domino to fall? Well, if I learn some quick fixes, now I got a little bit of authority. Now I need to really step into mastering my leadership style, right? Okay, like this is a band-aid, but now let's fix me. I got leadership mastery. And then the next domino would how to build a resilient sales culture. Now you can drill down on these in a lot more detail, but this is trying to show you top level. If you're losing credibility, the first thing we would want to do is how to stop looking like a rookie sales manager. And now once we've shown that, we're going to give them some core management systems followed by executive level leadership. So you see how these dominoes kind of work, right? Now we're also looking at the back end fit. Like how well does this fit in order to get people to your like ideal thing? And this one, 10. This one, team decline, which is reverse team slump, great performance systems and scale. This has the highest long-term customer value because it ties directly to revenue outcomes.
Mhm.
Right? So you can see what's going on here. Here's another one. Break sales addiction, delegation mastery. Like you're addicted to selling. You're a sales manager. You go, just put me back in. Let me do it. Nope. You're going to break this addiction, learn how to delegate, and then leverage your team. Once more, strong back end path. Now, once more, you got two tables here. And once more, you could be a little overwhelmed. These are designed to give you things to think about.
Mm.
But it also helps. Here's the easy button. Would you like me to score and rank these with FDI, first domino index? And I'm going to say yes. And these are subjective. You can argue with it, but it's going to say, well, let's rank this on desirability, long-term customer value potential, and readiness. So it thinks the team decline one has the highest score because it's like, in a potential offer would be reverse the slump, how to lead sales teams without burning out. And you may not think so, right? You have to use a little bit of your subjectiveness. Or firefighting, stop firefighting, manager's time control system. Come down here, look at all these. And if you want, you can pick the one that you feel, if you're the expert, you can pick the one that you feel is the most urgent because you've got human experience, right? Otherwise, this says, look, the top two, team declining and firefighting, are your hottest domino pains. They're also tied to visible business results and personal survival, which makes them urgent. The next tier is no motivation back to selling and hiring panic. Great for entrepreneurs and managers looking to scale. And it's got a strong LCV into your mastermind. Others can be spun as lead magnets, mini offers, bonuses. Some of you guys might want to put bonuses in your offers. This is a way to do this. Now, do you want me to expand the top ranked problem into a rapid transformation offer build, including summary, step-by-step fix, templates, and CLV hooks? Like, say what? You're actually going to build this for me? So, you damn right I do. That's how I like to talk to ChatGPT. Okay. Let's do an outline. The rapid transformational offer. Reverse the slump. How to lead sales teams without burning out. Now, by the way, this is an outline. Summary, a fast action 7 to 14 day program that helps newly promoted managers or entrepreneurs stop their team's downward spiral and put 3 simple systems in place: restore authority and regain control. What is the core fix? We want to give them a plug and play reversal system to stop the immediate decline, triage to quick wins, reset team accountability and expectations, and install a simple rhythm that keeps sales moving without the manager burning out. Now, once more, Philippe, you can go in and if you have the expertise, you can say, I don't like this, add this to it, subtract this. It's totally up to you. Now it gives you a science and reasoning. Salespeople are wired for independence, where their alpha rep turns into a manager, or when an entrepreneur hires a team, chaos happens. Without systems, performance dips. Managers panic and either micromanage or retreat back into selling. Fixing this prevents career failure. Cool. What's my framework? Well, all good offers and products have a framework. I have my 5 buckets framework when I teach AI. So now we're going to stabilize them, identify the top 1 or 2 behaviors causing the performance dip. We're going to reset them, run a reset meeting to clarify standards and goals. We're going to systematize, install a 15-minute daily huddle, delegate, move 1 core responsibility off your plate each week, scale it, implement motivational levers to keep energy high. All right, cool. Now what assets make it tangible? Give them a cheat sheet, 1-page framework, give them a meeting script, give them a scoreboard template, a delegation tracker, a manager's weekly rhythm. Cool. You guys get this so far? What we're doing? We're building out the product. Now there's another framework called PERK. We want to, and this is a great way to solve problems. We're going to give them the plan, which is a 7-day slump reversal roadmap. Then we're going to eliminate 3 things that are sinking the team, replace it with micromanagement systems, and create a visible rhythm of accountability and wins. Okay. Now, anybody here selling information, how to, instructions, or whatever, following this PERK thing is a great framework for producing things that just work. Like people are buying the plan. That's the stairway to heaven, right? I'm going to buy your plan, but first I'm going to eliminate the things you don't like doing, get something off my plate, replace it with something that'll work with a new system, and then create something I never had before. Okay, now hooks, client long-term value hooks, baseline. Now maybe you do a slump diagnostic quiz. it gives you some baseline numbers. And then you give them a dashboard template, which forces them to track, show gaps. They'll crave advanced dashboards from the mastermind. Then, if you want them to go beyond slump reversal and build a self-managing team, that's where this thing comes in. It suggests, and you can change this, front-end micro offer, 47 to 97 digital kit and mini training, upsell 2 to 400, 500 into a deeper group workshop or boot camp, and then a back end is the natural path to the Paris mastermind. Make sense?
Very cool.
Cool. Now you can do a couple other things here, right? One of the things we can do is we can say, build this for me. Like actually build this PDF or whatever, build the entire program for me. You can do that. And I'm going to show you guys all a little trick. Everybody pay attention. If you don't know this little trick, it's a really good one. So if I I actually want it to do the upsell and recurring layer revenue, but I also, Brad just said it can build the whole thing for me. Can I do both without getting confused? Yes. See these 3 dots? You see this branch into new chat. Click this one. I showed Brad Spencer this the other day and he lost his hair. He used to have a full head of hair. So what this just did is it duplicated the entire chat over here. So it's like copy paste. And now I can say in this one, this is the one I just opened, I can say, actually begin to build the full product for me. So I'm doing that on this chat. And then over here, I'm just going to say, do this one. So now I'm kind of doing them in tandem. Now these chats will show up over here on the left-hand side, but this is a really fun way to kind of oh, I like where this is going. Like I want it to do this. Like I want it to do this, but I don't want to lose this. So fun little feature. Okay, so now it's like, let's build some upsells into your offer. Well, the core offer is this one. Now the upsell could be the slump reversal bootcamp, 3-part live recorded training, includes done for you templates. Here's your positioning. If you want me to walk you through this live and hold you accountable, this is it. And then there's another Lion Tamer Accelerator, a 90-day group program with weekly calls, peer group accountability, and then a membership layer for, $27 a month. You get the playbook club, accountability pod, whatever, right? This is just giving you ideas of things you can add to your offers if you don't already have them. So here's an ascension path, right? Now it's asking me, do you want me to build out the 7-question behavior diagnostic funnel or quiz, right? Yeah, you can continue to do this. But we're not going to do this yet because I'm going to shift gears into marketing campaigns. I want to let you know that you can have this just start to go build. And by the way, this works in Gemini. Like you can do this in Gemini or not Gemini, ChatGPT, GenSpark, etc. But yes, you could build the whole thing out if you want. But in a moment, we're going to switch to the marketing campaign because let's just say that Philippe is like, this is a hell yes, I want to do this, right? We're going to create a marketing campaign to this because I think it's going to work, right? Before I do that, though, before I shift gears, I want to take a break and open this up for any questions, comments, concerns about what you guys, what I've done so far. Because this is so powerful for coming up with new content marketing, angles, offers, etc. Is there any clarity? Does anybody think this is like, hell yeah? I mean, feel free to give me compliments too. Flattery will get you everywhere. Thank you, Mel. You guys are silent. Anybody see, can somebody or raise your hand or say something? I want a little bit of otherwise I'll lose my voice. Who here would like to use this when you're using this to come up with brand spanking new offers for their existing business versus just creating ones like you've never even thought of, like entering a brand new market? Yeah, Wayne. Cool. I don't know if you had anything to say, Wayne, but thanks for raising your hand. All right, you guys are such a talkative bunch. That's okay. Sometimes hard for me to get my word in edgewise. All right, so you guys ready to shift to marketing campaign? This looks great. And if somebody says something in the chat, Lauren, just let me know. This looks great. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to show you this is another GPT that I built for you guys called the Marketing Campaign Genie. It is a strategic marketing campaign companion. for developing these campaigns. Like the one I gave you, the prompt that I gave you guys in the library before was just like your general marketing strategist. This one's all about marketing campaigns. And I'm going to show you, if you guys don't remember this little trick, I'm going to show you how to use this inside of this one without going over here. But it bears coming over here and showing you this first so I don't confuse you. Now, these are quick buttons like, hey, what results will I get from this tool, or help me build a marketing campaign? So if I just click this, it'll teach you about how to use this or what it is. It says, well, I'm going to give you a clear campaign strategy, a focus campaign, an optimized funnel plan, channel recommendations, messaging angles, campaign concepts, asset checklist, and a campaign brief. The ultimate result, a launch-ready marketing campaign you can execute in 30 days or less, built to maximize revenue. All right, so now if you wanted to go through this on your own, you could say, let's go. So now it's going to say, wait, what's the type of your business? What's the name of it? Now, if you're using this inside here, like I'm about to show you this trick, you don't have to answer these things. If you've already created your strategic brief that we talked about last week, you could just copy and paste it. Just go, you could upload the file, or you could just copy and paste it in here and go, this is what you need to know about me, right? Or if you come over here and say, summarize this, and you just drop it in here, you can do it. This is kind of the long way to do it. Like, so for instance, I'm going to show you one of the long ways. Please create a product, an offer brief I can use as knowledge for another chat. So if I wanted to do it like this, like I'm going to jump over here, I'm just going to have it create this brief. It's telling me what it is. Cool. So I could just copy this, come over here, and drop it in here. I could do that. Now, what I don't like about it is it doesn't have as much of the nuance that we were talking about up in this other chat, right? So now it's asking me, what would you like to create? A one-liner elevator content, et cetera, et cetera. And you can just sit here and answer these questions one at a time. But if you use these in combination, here is the trick. I talked about this last week. If you're in here, click the @ symbol. And then I sometimes have to space. So sometimes it doesn't come up right away, but usually what this will do is this will pull up any GPTs you have personally created, or this is critical, it will pull up any of the GPTs you have in your sidebar that other people have created. So since I've created this, and you guys are all going to get this after this call, all you want to do, there will be a button that says right here, you're going to want to go keep in sidebar. So even though I built this, that means you're going to be able to use it. Does that make sense? Because you come in here, you type @Genie. So what this is doing is, even though we're in this other GPT and in this thread, we are now accessing the instructions inside of this other custom GPT. It's like we're bringing it in so we can operate with it. Now help me build a marketing campaign for this offer. And as long as until I X this out, it's going to continue to kind of use the information above, but the instructions inside this one. Any questions about that? About how to access it? It's fairly simple. Okay. Foundation. Here's our business. Here's the offer to promote. Here's our goal: generate qualified customers. Ideal customer: newly promoted sales managers, entrepreneurs. Now it'll say, it doesn't have this question. What's your approximate budget range for this? Now, a budget range could be like how much it costs you to produce it. It can be how much you're going to run ads on. Let's just say no limit. We're just going to keep it, see what it does. All right, so great. Well, with that, we can do a multi-channel authority-driven campaign, right? If you said $5,000, it's going to be it's going to be more constraints. So now it's going to give us an ideal funnel strategy. Well, we need an entry point. Okay, here's the product. Here's what it does. Upsells. It already knows what this is. Recurring layer, back end. Awesome. Revenue projection example. If you get 100 buyers at 97, it's this. And it's using industry benchmarks. right? If 25% take this, if 10% take this, if 20%, etc., you'll get $110,000 from 100 front-end buyers. Cool. Our channel strategy. Top 3 channels for your market. It suggests LinkedIn. Why? Managers and entrepreneurs. You're going to create pain-driven posts, carousel case studies, lead magnet ads, or a quiz to a checklist, push to your offer. In YouTube, you're going to do 3 short videos, like 3 short videos, 3 signs your sales team is slumping with a call to action, which leads to long-form thought leadership, positions you as the lion tamer. And then an email, automated funnel, post-purchase, boot camp to accelerator to club, etc. And once more, you can go in and you can change this. You go, I like this, I don't like this. I actually tried LinkedIn, it didn't work. Give me one for Facebook. Totally up to you. It is your servant. But assuming we like this, it's going to give you some messaging approaches. You've got a benefit focused approach, and you can test all of these angles because you never know what's going to work, such as lead your sales team without burning out. The supporting copy is in 7 days, you'll turn chaos into clarity, etc. Problem solution. Your sales team numbers are sliding. Here's how to fix it fast. Or why top salespeople fail as managers and how to avoid the trap. You're going to hear to like social proof and authority. Now it's going to ask you, of these 3, I'll ask you, Wayne, go ahead and unmute. Which of these 3 angles feel the most on brand? If you just had to pick one, which of these 3, like,
Why top salespeople fail as managers?
okay, that'd be number 3. All right, let's build a campaign. Campaign concept 1, from lion to lion tamer. Theme, the universal story. Great salespeople crash as managers unless they learn to tame the lions. Message, you don't need to figure it out the hard way. All the proven systems that managers use to stop failing and start leading. Channels, LinkedIn carousels, YouTube explainers, retargeting ads. Funnel integration, leads into reverse the slump kit. Bootcamp upsell, revenue projection, metric, what you want to measure. Dollars from LinkedIn, bootcamp uptake, mastermind assumption. Once more, this is concepts only. Here's another concept, the manager's survival kit. Urgency. Congratulations, you got promoted. Now the hard part starts. Most managers fail within the first 90 days. Here's the survival kit that keeps top companies use to save careers. Once more, channels, funnel integration. Here's your campaign concepts. Now it says, out of these 3, it also grades them. This one gives a big story with the universal problem. This is a crisis angle with urgency, and then this is the aspirational authority positioning. Now you can do all 3, but for brevity, let's just pick one. Which campaign concept do you want me to expand? 1, 2, or 3, Wayne?
1.
Okay. All right. Core message. Most top salespeople fail as managers. It's not your fault. The skills that made you a great rep work against you as a leader. The lion tamer has saved managers worldwide from losing their credibility and careers. Now it can save yours. Funnel stages. Lead generation assets. Goal. Grab attention, diagnose the pain. LinkedIn carousel ads. Top 3 reasons you fail. YouTube shorts. And you can have it say, give me 10 more ideas for each one of these if you want. Blog, article, right? These are your lead. This is how you generate leads. Now, priority, immediate LinkedIn ads, which I will say this from my experience, I do not know a single human being who's ever profited off LinkedIn ads in my 51 years on this planet. So take that with a grain of salt. Doesn't mean Facebook ads can't work or whatever, LinkedIn posts. YouTube shorts and a checklist. Secondary blog article distribution. Lastly, once you kind of get these going, optimize with a quiz funnel, behavior tagging, do the advanced stuff later. Now, this is your lead gen assets. What assets do I need for the main offer? Well, I need a landing page. I need a sales video. I need a checkout page. I need a confirmation page with onboarding email sequence. Upsell assets. I need a one-click upsell page, a bootcamp sales page, email follow-up, right? In what priority do I do these? This, and this. Retention, follow-up assets. So it gives you all the assets you need. And now it gives you the success metrics. What are you gonna measure? Cost per lead, cost per purchase, bootcamp upsell percentage, etc. Now it says, would you like me to create a complete campaign brief summary? And I say, yes. Yes. All right. Campaign overview. Business, offer promoted, campaign goal, core message. Funnel, structure, and revenue path. Run an offer, upsells, recurring back end, revenue projection. Channel strategy, primary channels, secondary channels. It says, okay, after you get these going, maybe do PR placements, podcasts, meta ads. Core messaging approach. The angle, the authority and proof is used by managers in Fortune 500 teams. Problem framing, why being a great salesperson makes you a terrible manager. Promise, earn respect, gain control, stop the slump. Concept selected, we're going to go from lion to lion tamer. The creative direction is storytelling and authority. Contrast between failing manager and respected leader. We're going to want carousel ads, testimonial snippets, and Felipe, is it Felipe or Philippe? Philippe. Explaining the trap, and then how are you going to integrate with the funnel, a direct call to action to the kit. Assets required by funnel stage. We need these ads, these shorts, articles, and a lead magnet. We need a sales landing page, sales video, checkout page, onboarding email sequence, one-click upsell page, bootcamp sales page, this membership sales page. Now, if anybody has ever launched a freaking marketing campaign and you're seeing this and it's giving you post-traumatic stress disorder, raise your hand. Like, creating a marketing campaign, I know you have, Brad and Sue, like, it's a lot of freaking work. And this is why when I worked at this agency, it would take months to create all this stuff, sometimes months, where it's going to take minutes next week. The success metrics, acquisition, conversion, retention, ascension. It's given us ideal benchmarks to shoot for, also telling us what to look for. What's our next immediate exit step? Build and launch the landing page and checkout, then produce the ads and the shorts to drive traffic, then record the sales video, although I think the sales video should probably go above that. Create the one-click upsell page. Yeah, I think it kind of messed up. This should be last. Like, get your foundation in place and then add the traffic. With this brief, you have a ready to execute campaign plan you can share with your marketing team, contractors, or run yourself. Now, I did something else as a meta tip. If you all want to create lead generation mechanisms, create a GPT and then tell the GPT after it produces its results to say something like this: still need marketing help? Want to go deeper? Contact Brad here, right? All of a sudden, if you guys end up giving this out to like a friend and they're like, oh, this is super cool or whatever, I like this. This allows me to capture some potential leads. Badass, right? This is funny. Would you like me to sketch a visual funnel map? Why not? Let's just see what it does. I didn't even ask it to do that. It was basically done. This isn't very visual. This is just... Would you like me to draft campaign timelines? No. What else you got up your sleeve? How about the behavioral quiz funnel, segmentation superpower? Here's our title, here's our questions, authority assets, evergreen content flywheel. Like, it can do a lot of this stuff for you guys. Now, you can continue to work inside this chat thread and you can use some of the prompts that I got, and I'm going to be giving you more, especially for next week. Or if you're the type of person who already has a marketing team. Does anybody here have a marketing team? Do they have assistants or contractors or anybody else? Mel, are you raising your hand for that?
Yeah, I'm just taking one on.
Good. So now at this point, you can decide to be the one person behind the marketing team, or if you've got a marketing person, you give them this campaign strategy and you go, all right, here's what you got to do. Here's what you have to produce. Let me know if you need any help, right? You see how valuable this might be? Good. Does anybody else have any comments, questions, concerns about what we've done so far? There shouldn't be any concerns.
This is awesome, dude. I'll give you that flattery. It's good.
Brad, how long does number one because I know you do a lot of this stuff for a living.
Yeah.
How long does strategizing this stuff take and then producing it take?
I mean, to do what you've done here is at least a day or two tops of like constant thinking and iterating and all that. The other side of it too that I think that makes this even better, regardless of the time savings, is the completeness of this, because it's so easy when you're inside and in the weeds to like overlook things if you don't have stuff structured. And to produce it, I mean, weeks. Weeks,
If you're good.
daily work. Yeah, if you're
If you're
good and you
really
know what
good.
yeah.
Right? Cool. And now, so I just want to jump in if you have any questions, but remember what I did earlier when I said that little guy down here, like branch into a new chat? When Philippe, I said, oh, let's actually create this. Let's create this offer, begin to build the product. Let's see what it did. Okay, we'll build the core framework scripts, quick consumption format, sales hooks, naming variants, backend pathways. So the first one, here's our module. Module 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it still looks like it's outlining it all. Outlining. This is now the full micro. Wait. Okay. That sure as hell ain't the full product I can sell. Super condensed, not good enough. Build it for me in full. I like to use the Queen's English. That sure as hell ain't. All right, here's how I'll structure it. Let's do it. Here's our promise. Here's our curriculum. Module 2. So what it's not doing at the moment, but I could probably go in and I might want to do this one at a time. This is another little trick. Oh, it says all it needs are the recorded videos, polished templates. Okay. Give me the verbatim script for both video 1 and 2. Don't abbreviate, you lazy mofo. Got it. No half measures. Video script 1, the slump audit. Welcome to the reverse slump, how to lead sales without burning out. In this very first, you can say, hey, I'm Philippe LeBaron. In this very first session, I'm going to give you the single most important step you need to take before you try to fix anything, a slump audit. Because here's the truth. When a member's numbers start falling, dun, 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 dun. So now it goes into this, and then it goes into the teaching section, minute 1 to 7. All right, there's only 3 root causes of every sales slump. Write these down. They're going to be your North Star. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 dong. All right. Pretty good, right? Now, technically, if you're using something like you could film these yourself, or we talked about HeyGen before, Sue, you could create a video avatar that just actually teaches these for you. And it looks like you teaching, and people may be able to tell it's an AI avatar, but in general, you never even have to go on camera if you don't really want to. So this is also a capability. But now I'm going to take this. I'm going to go into, instead of building out the whole thing, take video 1 and create an outline for slides that I could use in Gamma. Was I showing you guys Gamma, like how I built the slides for this presentation before? Did I show you, Brad, you're saying yes? Do you guys remember me showing you Gamma?
Yeah, it was week 1.
All right, good. I'm gonna do it again. Watch. I'm gonna give you guys a taste of like what stuff we can do next week. Now I'm using once more. This is
Just curious, because I just thought of this right now. Does Gamma have one of those like custom GPTs where you could do that like and then like you switch to another custom GPT within it, like kind of Canva does? I was just curious.
Not that I've seen. All right,
Yeah,
so
I was just wondering.
So I'm gonna go over here. Gonna drop it. Paste in the text. Just paste that outline. Let's just see what it does. Okay. Generate from notes or an outline. Continue to prompt editor. We're going to make it concise, but we're not going to keep it as we could keep it as is. So it just pulls in those words. We're going to generate it. We're going to have it fill in added details. It already knows it's writing for sales managers, etc. I'm gonna pick a theme like let's just pick one that's professional enough. It thinks 7 cards. I could always add that. This looks like a card that is like shouldn't be there. I'll just do 10 cards. I'm just gonna go. Sometimes you got to just kind of wrestle with it. Do we see why we get excited about AI? Because the faster, like I look at this as I can solve a lot of problems for people really quickly. And hot damn, especially if they're good problems to solve, right? You're constantly want to be looking for what are the good problems you can solve in your market. So now what did we just produce? Once more, we've got the script. So you got the script over here and you can start to read through it, right? All right, here's what we're going to do. And all of this is editable. Most managers panic in a slump. They micromanage, they get more meetings, jump back into sales, treating the wrong problem makes it worse. Well, skilled physician doesn't treat symptoms, they diagnose. That's what your sales team needs is diagnostics. So today's promise, I'm going to find the exact cause. In just 10 minutes, we'll identify the root cause of your team's slump. Remind yourself there's only 3 reasons they slump: skills, focus, or effort. Number 1, skill problem, knowledge gaps block success. Effort problem, too few calls, pipeline, cost and behavior. Here's your focus problem. Here's the three simple questions you have to ask. Are my people staying on the right things on the calls? Are they putting in enough activity? Are they working on the highest value targets? What you need to do is print the audit, slump checklist, take 10 minutes a day, circle your root cause, because next week we're going to do the 1 win rule. We're going to create a quick win in just 48 hours. See you guys next week in the next module. All right, so we have been working on this thing for near 60 minutes, I think I went into the teaching of this. So we probably have been working on this for about 45 minutes when I pulled in Philippe, and we have just created full campaign brief, a full product outline, and a script and slides for module 1 of the course that he would teach for this. And it's not even an hour, about 45 minutes. I mean, can I
Yeah.
get a hallelujah?
That's crazy.
Hallelujah times 10, buddy.
David.
My dinner's not cooking that quick.
Yeah. Cool.
See, and this, so for me to do this right now, like with slides that are probably 1/10 as good looking as these, this what we just did is probably most of a good day of work, constantly, completely focused, no distractions, no meetings, no nothing. What you did in 60 minutes is a day or 2 days even for me to get to the scripts and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. But
and that's with AI. That's with my junky AI. You're 10 times faster with 10 times better at looking outputs.
Yeah,
Just off of this.
Yeah, I've just
It's
been doing it.
crazy.
I've just been doing it for longer. But
crazy.
I just been playing with it longer, right? But I've also got the
Yeah.
benefit of experience, right? I've been a
Sure.
for 20 years, right? Like, so I know what goes into this. I can think a lot quicker. My goal is to get you guys up to speed as quickly as possible. And anybody, like quite literally, you could go into business as a marketing consultant right now, and start to help people do this stuff and just use these tools behind the scenes, and nobody would
Amazing.
be different, right?
Amazing.
Now, if we come back to here, we're almost at the end of this. I do have a couple other cool things to share with you and show you. Next week, we're going to build assets. Now, we can build some of these stuff in ChatGPT. Once more, I love me some GenSpark, and you'll see why. I'll show you a couple things I did in GenSpark yesterday. GenSpark it'll save you a lot of money from having a lot of different programs. Like, it does everything from image editing to even creating small videos to full-blown websites and all the other stuff, right? Like, it allows you to create more multimedia style assets and save money. You don't have to use it. I've already shared some of my other favorite tools, but if you get the GenSpark thing, I think you're going to love it, especially after I show you some of the newest stuff. So, like, once more here in just a minute. Your homework. If you haven't done last week's stuff, just go through those, create your strategic profile, right? Just 7 prompts, should not take you long. Number 2, do what I just said, like go into the 2 the instructions will be in the show notes, but do the starving market domino detective and then say, now build a campaign brief out of it, exactly like I did, or however fits you, and come next week with a campaign brief. Come up with, it could be an offer that is that you want to create a marketing campaign for your own business, or it could be like, I don't really know exactly what I don't really know, like have some like I want to get into a new business or whatever. Well, how would I do this for somebody else? Like I just want to like brainstorm from a blank slate. You can do that. But ideally, if you come prepared with a campaign brief, we can, you know, put this to work and show you how to build this for you. One of the things I've also I talk about GenSpark. You don't have to use it, highly recommended. I went to their YouTube channel and I pulled a bunch of what I think are their most good showcase videos of look what I can do. So these are some of my favorites. You don't have to watch them all, but if you want to learn about designing a coffee brand, or using Image Studio, Slide Deck, using the AI Drive, having it manage your email, calendar, Notion, and more, creating documents, creating things. These are short little videos. They're like demo videos of what's possible. But if you go through these, like if you just take a few minutes, like these are all like a couple minute videos, you'll understand why I promote this. You're like, oh, I see the method behind Brad's madness of why, like, he's recommending this, because if I want to produce a lot of marketing stuff, we're gonna be able to do it with things like like GenSpark. There's also another one called Manus, but
what is AI Drive? Like, I haven't heard of that one in
oh, so
GenSpark.
AI Drive is pretty cool. So let me just go here. Okay. I mean, I use actually the GenSpark even has a browser. I use their browser actually. So AI Drive is over here. And so it is super fun. So you can actually have a whole,
Oh, it's like Google Drive. Oh, okay.
it's like a little mini Google Drive, but also I can say, go over to this website and go download stuff for me about this. Go download research papers about, whatever. And it'll go do that, and it'll bring it in here. And then what you can do is when you're talking to this, you can say, reference the materials in the folder called Brad Spencer Knowledge Base or whatever, and do this. So you can have it reference stuff inside your AI Drive.
Rad.
Yeah, I'm going to show you a couple things I just did. I think I sent this to you, Mr. Spencer. Where is my little chat? I lost it. So I was screwing around with this yesterday. Where is my little calculator?
Oh, your funnel tripwire?
Yeah. So I saw somebody else, and I want to see if I can find where I did this. All right. There is a friend of mine named Perry Belcher built this. Tripwirecalculator.com. And a tripwire is just an entry-level product to see what your what kind of based upon certain analytics and KPIs, like what your profit would be for the funnel. So I'm going to show you what I did with GenSpark. I said, go here, learn it, and create a functional web app that does the same thing. Here's what it built for me. All right. And that's all I did. Watch, ad spend. Let's say $500. What's my cost per click? The green boxes are the things you have to know. Let's just say I'm paying $2 per click, and my click-through rate is 2%, which means I'm getting, for $500, I'm getting 250 clicks. Now let's say my front-end conversion rate is 5% at a $50 price. I've got a bump offer that's like doing 20% at $15. I've got an upsell in there that converts at 15% for 100, and one more upsell that converts at 10% for $50. Do I have any other sales revenue? I'm not going to put that. Event sales, other expenses. Nope. Well, this funnel, if I spend $500, I think it says I'll make $859 with $500 in ad costs, and I'll make $359. So 17 orders will produce this sales, etc. So now, if you're ever trying to play around and go, well, what is my, if I have a marketing funnel, what do these numbers have to look like? in order to make it work. So for instance, if this thing is not doing well, right, let's just say this is at a 1% conversion. You can see here I'm losing money now. I can play with it to say, well, what if I get it up to 3%? All right, at 3%, I'm basically break even. So our first goal would be that. But so you can play with these numbers. You can go, that's going to be a lot harder to get from 1 to 3. But if I get this from 20 to 30, we can make more money. I'm only showing you guys can use this. I'll send it to you, but I'm only showing you because I want to show you some of the things that like GenSpark can do. And these can be great lead generation tools for somebody. But if you have any questions, because if you need to go, but you have any questions that have not been answered, now is the time to ask. Do I have any hands raised, Wayne?
I got a quick question, Brad. Those chat GPTs, the custom GPTs, sound like there's a lot of marketing knowledge behind them. And I've done things like, put the condensed version of a business book in a project. Are your programs have that type of
They don't have any knowledge in them. It's just the way I it's just the way I prompted them with.
So the prompts are just really well crafted and very
correct.
thorough.
The nice part about things like ChatGPT and these things, they have all the knowledge. They've read every damn book. Imagine they've read every book that's out there, right? So you just have to kind of guide them in a way. And I'll be doing more stuff on how to create like advanced custom GPTs to make them really sing. But
one of the things I do for this with the books, because I actually do reference a lot of books specifically, is like if I have like a book summary that I find, and like say it'll go review all the book reviews out there, the outlines or cliff notes, whatever you use. I'll actually say, do you understand the concept such and such from this book by this guy or gal? And then I'll ask it to just say yes if it does, and then I'll start working off of it. And then that way I know it actually references it and almost gets it right like 99.9% of the time to say, like, if I do do you understand this thing? That's helped me a lot with some of the ideas.
That's great. All right, let me show you. This is FAFO, once more, F around and figure it out, of GenSpark I was doing yesterday. All right, so I want to show you the power. Like, I impressed myself. I walked away going, oh my damn. All right, so the other day, I'm going to show you the genesis of this. The other day I was on the Facebooks, and I saw a friend of mine named Mark talk about some opportunity. Where is it? Talk about some opportunity. The best business model and opportunity ever. I'm not going to go through all this. I'm partnering with a law firm doing 500 million in revenue and blah, blah, blah. And here's how it works. If you can find surgeons that want to earn money, blah, 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 in essence, and you can do like referrals to them, we'll pay you like a good percentage of whatever it makes. The law firm does this, engage with surgeons who are trying to recover underpayments by insurance, yada, yada. If you want more information, let me know. And I just said, yeah, sure. Tell me more. I was just curious, right? I don't have like a surgical market. And so Mark sends me some information. Here you go. Here's a Zoom replay. This is really cool. I did like once more, I was kind of blown away. So it's an hour and 40-minute, 1-minute call about this, and ain't nobody got time for that. No download button, no transcript. What are we living in, like 2021? My solutions. This is not it. Let me go back to see if I can find the first one I did. Where's my bookmarks? I did this last night. That's not it. Hold on 1 second. I gotta find the I want to find the first one. Sometimes it opens it up in different stuff. This is one of the things, like chat organization inside GenSpark can drive me a little batshit. Okay. Please be it. So interestingly, this is new. It says for better performance, previous chat history has been compacted. So I can't just go back to this is new. But here's what I did. I went to GenSpark and I said, go to this web page and see if you can find out how to download this into my AI drive. That's all I said. Go to this website and download this video into my AI drive. And then it did. And then I said, please transcribe the video. And it did. Then it says the user shifted to the focus of the content, which outlined a medical revenue recovery business opportunity. The conversation then evolved to several requests related to understanding and strategizing the business. So I asked questions. What type of surgeons is he looking for? What's the pitch? Did they say some of the best ways to find them? Did they mention how it works? Why is a license? So I'm just asking questions of the transcript. That's fairly normal. All right, cool. So now I said, research how this market works, see if anybody else is doing this. Like ideate on an app. Hold on, I'm gonna go down here and see what else I had to do, because then I had it. By the way, they weren't telling who the name of the company was, and it did some research and it inferred and it found the exact name of the law firm that is doing this based upon deep research into what it was doing and looking for certain keywords. And I'll be damned if it didn't find out who they were trying to hide, who it is. Right. So then I said, create an entire marketing plan for this. Like, show me how this might work. And I am really just scratching the surface with what I did here. So anyway, the next thing I did is I said, create an entire marketing plan. Like, assume I wanted to do this. I need you to create an entire robust marketing plan for this. And I was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. I don't like the fact that it truncated this. This is all new. But it gave me the business model, license requirement, revenue potential, target surgeons, how to find them. It said, give me 1 second. Once more, this is kind of throwing me. The next thing I said is create a training manual. Let's just say I want to hire people to do this for me or whatever. So it created this training manual that looks like this. Team structure, hire a virtual operations manager, a lead generation specialist, a sales assistant. Here are their roles. Here's what the daily responsibilities for your virtual operations manager should do. Check team progress, audit leads, client communication, team coordination, performance monitoring. Here's the skills. Here's how you measure them. Here's what they do. Lead gen specialist. Here's what they should do. So I was like, just imagine I wanted to build a big company around this, create my team manual. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Then I said, all right, what else can you do? Take each team member's role and create a comprehensive standard operating procedure and training guide, telling them what to do, what tools to use, etc. So it said, here's my virtual operations manager. Here's who they are. Here's what to pay them. All right, Monday, you're going to create these core accounts, LinkedIn, da-da-da-da. Now you're going to have access to this. In the afternoon, read through the document, study this, understand this. Day 3, do this. Like, I didn't even like grade this for quality, but it basically is helping me build a company saying, what roles do I need to hire? What's the strategy I'm doing? What roles do I need to hire? Create the step-by-step training manual for each employee, daily operations guide, morning routine, right? It creates this entire document for one role right here, right? Crisis management procedures. It does all of this. But then the other thing I asked it to do was like, hey, create me a calculator. Because what if I was generating leads and I wanted to send these people to a website that generates leads and it looks like this? And once more, I just said, create a calculator, create a complete medical revenue recovery web calculator that helps surgeons estimate how much money they could recover from unpaid insurance claims. Include this. And by the way, I told it to tell me what to, like, if I wanted to do this, give me the instructions, and it gave me this. Now watch. I did this like before dinner. What's your specialty? How many procedures do you do a month? 25. How much is my average procedure value? 24. How often do I get denied? Mixed. get a personalized report. Okay. You could recover based on what you just said, you could recover $129,000 a month or 1.5 million a year, and over 5 years, it could be worth 7.7 million. Here's how it works. Free assessment, legal arbitration, recovery, and payment. Watch this placeholder video to see how we do it. Why insurance claims get denied. About Callagy Law, that's who it is. Bum, bum, bum. Real recovery success stories. These are not real, these are hypothetical. Next steps, initial consultation, claims audit, recovery implementation, schedule free consultation, FAQ. Are you fucking kidding me? Sorry for the French. Look at this. All I said was make an effective tool that could help surgeons calculate the effects if they did this. Now, let's say I was doing this as a business and I was going to buy ads for this. And I already had an agreement with them to share, revenue splits or whatever. I found out about this yesterday. What time did he send this to me? $2:35 p.m. It's not even 24 hours. I have a full instructional plan. I have a working web calculator. If I wanted to create another website, for this, I could do it. And I have a whole bunch of game plans about how to go get the business. This is what's possible when you learn how to, what tools can do and how to think about it and how to ask it for things you might not have ever thought to ask it for. So that's really, I share this with you because I want you to see my thought process is I just keep pushing the envelope. What else can we do? What if I want to build the whole company? I don't want to do anything. I told it that. I don't want to do anything. Tell me exactly what the strategy to find these people are. And then create a comprehensive marketing strategy for it. And then tell me if I was to hire people and a lean staff, who would I have to hire? What are their skill sets, pay rates, job responsibilities, create a team manual for each of them. And within less than 24 hours, if I wanted to pursue this, I could probably do it. And I used nothing but questions. What is this? What would you do? How could this be done? Could you create a calculator? What should these people do? And so if I can impart nothing else to you guys, is just to expand your idea of what's possible, in this space. What do you want to create? I know, Bobby, you do like event management and experiential design and different stuff, and you're kind of like, pivoting in your career and doing some other stuff. Like, use this as a great way to brainstorm, here's my skill sets, here's my ideal clients, like create a marketing campaign to go after the ideal people. And then maybe create a web app or a website or something like this that can help somebody really understand, the benefits of working with me. Create a slideshow, create a video. Like there's really no limits, whether you're trying to pivot into something new or you're trying to just double down on what you've got. Anybody else excited about what we're seeing here? Scratching the surface.
Awesome, Brad.
Good. All right. If you haven't done last week's, do it. And then just run through these 2 GPTs. They'll be linked in there. Just follow the directions. And if you want to watch some of the GenSpark tutorial videos, there's a link in there too. A lot of fun. And that's it. So thank you. All right, everybody. I will see you next week where the rubber meets the road. Talk to you soon.